Hey, today we've got great news. The DSS is officially back. We're going to take a look at the before and after changes to the Democracy Space Station. Unfortunately, I won't be able to show the improved tactical actions in use until we unlock it. Anyway, feel free to tap the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on the daily news. Well, as you know from the title, the Democracy Space Station is finally back, and I was surprised to see that it was announced through the new major order. Now, before we get into it, I just want to briefly say I wasn't planning on uploading another video today, yet I thought about it and said, well, why not? I enjoy creating them, so it's not a big deal. Okay, with that out of the way, we're going to check out the before and after changes. First starting off with the Eagle Storm. So before, it used to say, DSS crews maintain deployment of a 24-hour rotating fleet of Eagle fighters from the massive 3-tier convocation bay, supporting all Helldiver operations on the planet with close air support and slowing enemy offensives. Now afterwards, this is what it says right here. It's pretty much the same thing, except the very last line here says, temporarily also increase reinforcement budgets by +1 per squad member. Yep, so when this tactical action is active, you'll receive a +1 squad member there, so that's really nice, and that's per squad member. Now moving on towards planetary bombardment, which has received a name change, by the way. Also, the description is quite different too. So previously it used to say, planetary bombardment. The DSS fires non-stop orbital bombardments from its suite of 77 presidential class cannons, providing planet-wide artillery support and accelerating liberation efforts. Now, this is what it says currently. Heavy ordnance distribution. The DSS Logistics Armada supplies all super destroyers orbiting the planet with surplus 380mm shells. Ordnance support is also provided to SEAF operations, accelerating liberation efforts. Well, the good news, they're actually giving us control over it. If you check out right underneath the description, it says, give access to the orbital 380mm HE barrage stratagem to your missions, accelerates progress in liberation campaigns. Yep, that's absolutely great news, right? Now, previously it was a pain, there would just be random barrages, and you would eventually get hit by it. Now, that's no longer a thing. You have the control, you have the power, so you get to decide where to throw it down at. Of course, it's not going to be random, but hey, at least we get a stratagem, or at least something to use with these missions. Continuing along, you're probably wondering about the orbital blockade. What's going on with that? You know, did it receive any changes? No, there was no changes at all. As you can see, before and after here, there's literally nothing. Now, I'm not sure if there's any stats behind the scenes, you know, like in the game's code or something, but yeah, this is all. Thus far, we've already talked about the before and after changes with the Democracy Space Station, but let's dive a little bit more here, see if anything has changed with the menu, and spoiler alert, nothing really. And I thought there would be like an option to unvote, because you never know, right? Maybe it's possible. Anywho, you can see that I voted for this planet here, which was absolutely the wrong one to vote for. Yeah, so I did that. Well, now that I know there's nothing changed with the voting option, maybe at some point there will be a way to actually vote to stay with it, because I know they talked about that. Also, when it comes down to samples, I don't believe they've increased the number or changed anything at all. It still refreshes in like 24 hours or so. Okay, with the Democracy Space Station out of the way, we have a new major order that's pretty insane. We have to defend 14 planets from the Illuminate. Nonetheless, the newest major order briefing is also there as well. We'll go over that right now, so if you're not near your computer or console, allow me to go over it right here. So it states, the Democracy Space Station has been returned to operational status following a system-wide breakdown during the initial Illuminate invasion. Following a thorough review, the failure has been attributed to multiple failures to follow safety protocols. Undoubtedly a result of Illuminate interference, staff surveillance systems has been revamped to prevent future sabotage. While the station was offline, Ministry of Defense engineers implemented a number of operational adjustments. The planetary bombardment tactical action has been taken offline until adjustments to optimize certain undesirable externalities can be completed. The heavy ordnance distribution tactical action has been added, which will augment Helldivers loadouts on the orbited planets. Finally, to better contend with the Illuminate threat, the engines of the DSS have been overhauled to allow movement 6 times more frequently than before. This is an experimental change that will be actively monitored to assess whether it achieves sufficient operational benefit to justify the strain on the station's systems. The Illuminates have continued their assault on freedom unabated, utilize the power of newly repaired DSS to repel their invasion, and save our citizens. Well, as you can tell right there, we're going to be able to move this sucker around more often than we've ever been able to. Not only that, but they've also buffed the tactical actions, which is really nice to see. They've changed the whole entire name of the planetary bombardment, which I'm going to get stuck in between the two. I'm going to call it planetary bombardment, then probably call it the, the other name or the one it is currently. Yeah, I'm going to get mixed between the two. And overall, I think it's a solid change. I think they did a great job. With all of the changes mentioned, we're still missing out on the community guided laser system, whatever that is. They talked about that previously. There's also the vote to stay option, which I hope they implement. And there's another one there I probably am missing. I'll throw the whole image right here on screen. You've guys seen it before. I can't wait for all of that to come. What I'm suspecting they'll do next eventually is throw in some brand new tactical actions. They've reworked the whole thing essentially. Except for the orbital blockade, we obviously know that hasn't changed much, or actually at all. It hasn't changed at all, but eventually maybe that will be another one that will change. So there's a lot to just look forward to when it comes down to the Democracy Space Station, and I'll be real, I wasn't happy with it in the beginning, yet now that I'm seeing all the changes, they've done a great job. And I'm not surprised, because when something goes bad, they're able to fix it, at least in my opinion. When something went wrong with the nerfs, they quickly adjusted and buffed a bunch of stuff. When things went wrong with the whole, collaboration, they gave away free items. So in the end, kudos to Arrowhead for this. I mean, it's a big one for me. I mean, I'm just happy to see that it's been reworked. And I'd like to know what you guys think about it. Do you like it? Do you not like it? What would you like to see added? Let me know in your comments below. Oh, and if you're wondering why I go over these major orders and read it to you guys, because I've seen a lot of posts like this right here, where this player right here obviously didn't get to see the major order success message. Now this right here can happen, and that's one of the reasons why I enjoy going over it, just to read it to you guys that may have experienced this bug. And if so, there you go. That's the reason. Let's switch things up and talk about this Astrobot poster right here. This was gifted to Arrowhead by the team that actually created Astrobot. So what's so special about this? If you check out right here, there's an image here posted by the studio director, and you can tell that there's a Helldiver here. There's another one right there. I mean, they're all hidden throughout the whole entire image. It's like Where's Waldo, but Helldivers essentially, except they're just all over the place. It's cool, man. It truly is. If you haven't seen it, I'll leave a link down below, and you guys can try to find all of them. It's well worth checking out. Alright, moving forward, what we have next is the PlayStation 4 questions. So there's a player on the Helldivers 2 Discord that asked, when will there be a PlayStation 5 update? And the funny thing about this question here, I was supposed to bring it up in the previous video because I mentioned it right at the start and didn't talk about it. So you can see right here, this player asked, will the game get optimized fully for PS5 Pro? In response, B-Vitamin wrote, an update for it was released on October 29th to increase the resolution of quality mode to 4K and performance mode to 1440p. But if there's anything else coming, I wouldn't know. Well, there you go. I assumed they updated that with the Illuminate patch, but I guess not. And I just wanted to let you guys know that was updated back in October. Last but not least, we already know the developers are working on content. Someone asked, where's new content? The developer Safez wrote back and said, on the way. Someone said, like, right now? In response, Safez said, not right now, but the teams are working hard on getting more content ready for you. It looks like the developers are definitely on their grind, and they're going to create some really awesome content. At least I have a feeling about it. I mean, if you look at the FRV, it's incredible. Which, by the way, if you don't know, the developers at Disco Garage are actually helping out the Helldivers 2 developers with the game, and that's going to be interesting to see what else they come up with. With everything being said, this is your Helldivers 2 news. We're now going to check out the top 3 comments. The first top comment is by Mr. Wizards Juan. We need a stealth warbond and with C4, as I want to plant C4 as we all do. You know what? It makes perfect sense to have a C4 with a stealth warbond, at least in my opinion, because you can go in silently, activate, or actually set the C4 first, then activate it, and then just run out of there all quietly. I think your warbond idea makes perfect sense. The second top comment is by R. Saka the Dapper Goose 4796. Damage due to the Illuminate, aka I see that as the squids were able to convert a major portion of the crew on board to Volus. Now that would be an amazing mission list. Clear the DSS of Volus. Damage due to the Illuminate. I believe I commented on yours and it actually shows right there. And I said something along the lines of, how crazy would it be if the Volus just were activating all the tactical actions? It would be insane to actually see that on the map. I'm sure it wouldn't be possible because it might be just too overwhelming for the game. Last but not least, we have Raishin5662. They're already super generous with SE. I don't get why people are always asking for more. That's completely fair to say, and I don't think you're wrong about that, man. I mean, I do want to see a credit increase, maybe for difficult missions, like, you know, just like some sort of goal, right? Maybe a one-time goal, just something like that. Alright, that pretty much sums up the video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Make sure to give this video a like, give it a thumbs up or whatever, or thumb it up as I said in a different video. Make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.